Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Downingtown Life, the community group where nearly 25,000 neighbors come together to connect, support local, and stay in the know. I'm Colby.
And I'm Ka'ui from KCMG Real Estate Advisors.
We are excited to introduce you to another local business that helps make our community great. Today, we have the pleasure of talking with Julie Anderson, founder of SEL Guru Life Coaching. Hi, Julie.
Hello.
So Julie works with kids and families to build confidence, emotional regulation, and strong communication skills, things that are more important than ever right now. With a background in education and experience working in elementary schools, she's created a service that really helps bridge the gap between school support and therapy. Julie, thanks again for being here and joining us with Downingtown Life today.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here.
All right.
Thanks, Julie.
So let's start with your story. Can you share your background and what inspired you to launch SEL Guru?
Yes. So my background, you touched on it a little bit. I went to Westchester University where I graduated with my master's in school counseling with a certification in pre-K to 12. And as I was working in schools as a school counselor and most recently a mental health counselor at the elementary level, I kind of had this idea that I just felt like there was more kids who could use this kind of support, right? So I took that educational background and my therapeutic background and kind of put it together to start SEL Guru. And as you mentioned, SEL stands for social emotional learning, and that's a big pillar in education and kind of a lot of the things that I built when I was building school counseling programs. So I wanted every child and teen, whoever, to be able to learn self-management skills in a positive environment and have positive support.
That's amazing. So for anyone hearing about social emotional learning, SEL, for the first time, how would you explain what you do and who you help? More importantly, what's the difference between therapy and life coaching?
Mm-hmm. So a little bit on what social emotional learning is. There are actually 5 core areas, and that's from the CESEL framework. It's self-awareness, self-management, social awareness, relationship skills, and responsible decision making. So kind of what I do is I take those core areas and I provide them skill building in one of those main areas. Again, like you had touched on in the beginning, the emotional regulation piece where they're going to kind of learn to build coping skills and understand their feelings a little bit more would help hit that self-awareness, self-management piece in that core area. Or in the confidence piece as well. That's more social awareness, feeling like they have confidence to make decisions in everyday life. So that's kind of the educational framework that social emotional learning is. And the difference in kind of between that and therapy, right, is I'm looking at more pushing towards preventative practice, right? Where therapy, you might need a little bit more deeper processing. This is activity-based. It's skill building in a specific area, and that's where it kind of separates it from the therapy piece and what I do.
Okay, so tell us, what are some of the most common situations you help kids and families navigate?
You hit it right on the head at the beginning. A lot of what I get is the emotional regulation and supporting elementary kids with that. Again, self-awareness around emotions, learning coping skills, learning to navigate social situations and have that self-management in those moments. And then also that confidence-based support. A side thing that I also have a background in is I'm a figure skating coach. So a lot of what that confidence piece I'm doing with is working with young athletes to improve sports performance. So I've started working with a lot of athletes to boost mindset, work through setbacks in their sports. And I absolutely just adore and love what I do, that I've been able to take that and my education background and kind of put it together in that confidence piece.
Wow, that's incredible. So you've mentioned the elementary school element to this. And so, and you act as kind of a bridge between some of the school support and then, and therapy. So could you explain what that looks like when it comes to someone who might reach out to you? Explain what that looks like.
Yes. So maybe a quick sample step letter I give is when I was working in schools if there was someone who received individual services from me or a support in schools, we would then refer out if they still needed additional support. And typically that would go to a therapist, that would go to like one-on-one behavior support. So the stepladder would then, like, coaching services would fit in between, right? I could be an outside resource that helps build those skills without going through therapy. And then if I realize they still need more, then we could take it to therapy. So it could come kind of like in those steps a little bit. Because really what I'm trying to encourage is like kids learning those skills more early on, that preventive piece. So they have them handy for those situations instead of being like, okay, I'm noticing these flags. These things are triggering my child and now I need the support. I want them to learn these skills before those situations happen.
Before we move on to the next question, before Colby asks you the next question, I'm just curious, like, I think we briefly talked about this before, but age groups, like the age, focus, because it's kind of, we didn't really cover that yet. And I think we're just kind of covering a little bit with elementary school. Can you elaborate on that?
Mm-hmm. Yes. So what I service is ages 4 to 17. Just that's based off my certification in school counseling for being pre-K to 12th grade certified. So, I mean, if we're going back to like a lot of the clients I work with right now, more of my teens, I'm working on like the confidence, maybe learning more about friendships because they're going through so many changes in life, that preteen, teenager age. And a lot of those younger kids, you're looking at that 4 to maybe 10-year-old range. I'm doing more of the emotional regulation support. So again, the hope would be like clients who are elementary age come to me before they need those skills, they learn them. So then when it comes to middle school and high school, they already have that awareness and they already have an understanding of what's going to work for them.
Okay. So when a parent reaches out, what does that beginning process look like and what expectations should they have?
So at the start, they can set up a phone call with me to kind of discuss like if I'm even going to be a good fit, because I want my clients to feel comfortable with me, feel like this is the right direction for them to go. If they decide from that phone call based on the need that they're presenting to me, then I provide a general intake with some goal related questions to help me structure sessions catered to that client. Because I want it to be fun. I want it to be activities that client's going to seem to enjoy doing and building on that specific skill. A sample is I have a client who's 8 years old, who's experiencing emotional regulation issues. And first I started with the very general, this is who I am, this is my background. These are some of the things we might talk about because I heard sometimes we struggle with emotions a little bit. So they get that kind of like preset, they get to know me in that first session a little bit with a client. And then I took her through just identifying emotions activity, something super fun because I do it virtual and in person, for her to kind of identify what emotions she has self-awareness around. Again, if we're looking at those 4 areas, and maybe some emotions that she still needs to learn about a little bit. She's like, I don't really know about this one, right? Maybe we could talk a little bit more about that specific one. And then also, like on the third session I did with her, is we talked about like sticky situations where it looks at like anger and being frustrated with friends and what kind of emotions come out with that. So it maybe be like, how would you feel and like what would you do if this was the given situation? So that's kind of the structure in like first initial sessions, an example of a client that I've worked with.
Yeah, that does really kind of balance on the line of therapy. You know what I mean? So it's a really unique service that you offer. So for families who are interested, how do your sessions work? You mentioned virtual and in person. Is it a combination of the two? How do they get started?
So again, the first steps would be we might have that phone call. I've also recently just set up, like I said, an interest form where if they were interested, I would reach out to them and be like, oh, look, like I've noticed you want support in these areas. Let's like chat a little bit more so I can see what sessions are going to look like for you. And then I would give them a rundown of sessions. Most clients meet weekly for 30 minutes because I have found that 30-minute length is really good for youth just in general to maintain focus, to have that structured environment a little bit more. The length is flexible because if you're looking at therapy, sessions are typically longer, right? You're going to a 45, 50-minute session. And as of now, I've continued to find as I've been doing the business that 30-minute one, it's very structured. We have plenty of time to do like a concrete activity for them. And And then we always have a plan going into the next one. So at the end of the session, I always am like, okay, so the plan for next week is we're going to talk about this, and this will be the activity, and that client knows what's coming next too.
Like, what level is the parent involved in the communication and feedback, if you will?
Sure. So I really leave that up to them to decide. Most of my clients decide. I kind of update them weekly after each session. Again, we're looking at more of my elementary ones. They're comfortable in the last couple minutes. The parent will come in and we'll sit. I'll be like, this is what we talked about today. This is the plan for next week. We're all on the same page. So that works for the younger ones. The middle school and the high school, it's a little bit different. I encourage them to talk to their parents to enhance that communication piece and kind of what we talked about. But most of the time, those ones I'll kind of communicate maybe like every couple weeks, kind of be like, this is what we're working on. This is the plan for next week. And also let the parents know I'm encouraging them to come to you to talk about it to enhance that relationship as well.
So when you come to a roadblock or a standstill, or maybe just like there's a need, or you're identifying a need for the next level of whatever, right? It could be an activity, it could be service, maybe a diagnosis of some sort. You see it going in a different direction. Are you able to make the appropriate recommendations to the parents and coach them through what's next for their child?
Yes, because that's something I talk about a lot on phone consults, because that's also what I do as a school counselor, right? Like, I have to know when I'm working with a kid where I'm like, I think I'm going to recommend outside services, right? And I do understand like when's maybe like the next step to kind of look into that. Resources, and I have referrals for that too.
If you're a parent looking to help your child and build confidence, emotional regulation, or communication skills, this is a great resource to explore. Julie, thank you so much for sharing your insight with us.
No, thank you for having me. I love what I do, truly, and I hope I get to work with more people in this lovely community, because just starting off, I'm very new to this, and just starting off, I'm already just so happy with all the clients that have trusted me to support their children. So it's really a wonderful thing. I'm very, very honored to do that.
Awesome.
That's really great. Yeah, love the energy. So thanks so much for joining us on Downingtown Life and supporting another amazing local business. If you haven't already, make sure you are a part of Downingtown Life and continue supporting local whenever you can. We'll see you on the next one.